Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Nightmare Mode run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing on the Abyss with the brand new enemies from the reworked Nightmare Mode. The Abyss got a lot more new enemies, and so I'm really excited to see how they play out. I already did one run, but that was when there was a crash error that prevented you from finishing the runs. That's since been fixed, so we're going to jump in and take a look at the new Nightmare Mode. I'm going to be using the Loud here because I want to spawn as many of the new enemies as possible so we can check them all out. One other thing that's worth mentioning as well before we jump in is they've changed the options for Nightmare Mode. So for projectile fire in Nightmare here, you can now set it to never happen, be based on events, or happen on every wave like before the rework. We're going to leave it on event-based because that's the default difficulty, but I do think it's cool that they're giving you a few more options. So we're going to play the Loud to try to get as many enemies to spawn as possible, and we'll use Thief Dagger because that's just always such a super fun run. And let's jump in. So, it looks like we got projectiles wave 1. That's obviously one of the easier patterns that you can get because it mostly does not change anything on the first wave. And even if you happen to walk into one, it's not going to be that big a deal. We'll pick up as much money here as we can, of course. And I could take regen, but let's re-roll here. We could take critical hit chance. So I want to talk a little bit about critical hit chance with the Thief Dagger. I think people overbuy crit chance with this weapon. Yes, obviously it gives you more money when you get a critical hit, but you need to make sure that you have the base damage for those critical hits to actually kill things. So here we're going to skip it and look for attack speed, melee damage, or other stats that provide a little bit more value in the early game, because we need to make sure that our weapons are actually killing stuff before we can really focus in on the critical hits. It's also important with Thief Dagger that you just get so much money with this weapon. You don't need to go all in on getting more money. So making sure that your weapons kill stuff and that you have the survivability to make it through these early waves is the most important thing. I'm going to just ban a bunch of level 1 items when we roll ones that are bad for us. I'll leave Penguin in the pool. Scared Sausage we're not doing. I'm going to reroll. We'll pick up a Thief Dagger. So, for example, an item like Goat Skull decreases your crit chance, but melee damage, really important for this weapon. You just need to be able to get kills. Alright, well, we've used all our bans. We haven't rolled into any good level 1 items, and we're also struggling to find Thief Daggers, so some pretty poor luck in the first couple shops. We did get a Scar into Thief Dagger here, so certainly could be worse. But this is a weapon that you usually find a lot of because it's very cheap, and you also, of course, want to get as many of these as possible because that gives you free critical hit, which will give you more money, and also increase your average damage by quite a bit. There's a tree down there, but I'd rather kill more enemies. Again, with Thief Dagger, we get extra money from killing enemies. Here, I will take the crit chance, although because we have a melee damage upgrade, it's a little more valuable. And then I'm going to take 2 more melee damage. You only scale 50% with melee damage on this weapon, but it's really important to buy it because you need the high base damage. And again, you're going to get so much money when using Thief Daggers that you can afford to spend somewhat inefficiently just to make sure you can actually kill things. So the new enemies on Nightmare Mode start appearing, I think, on wave 14. So we're going to get the... they're no longer called scaled enemies. I think they all have unique names now, but they're basically buffed versions of the existing enemies. And a lot of them are really scary, so we'll see whether we can survive once we get to that point. For now, though, this is, of course, a very powerful character. We'll take 10 luck here, and then I'm just going to take 10% attack speed. Another stat that's really important on Thief Daggers, which has a pretty slow base attack speed. We'll reroll. We don't want things like Baby Elephant, because that's going to steal kills from our daggers, which is how we make money. I will take a mushroom. I want as much regeneration and armor and everything like that as I can possibly get. I'll take a cute monkey here. I think I will buy Peaceful Bee. It does cost me a melee damage, but that's fairly easy to make up for. And we will end up building dodge on this character, so although the harvesting isn't great, just because we'll have so much money that dodge is going to be easy to pick up. So although the harvesting isn't great for the loud, since we're constantly losing harvesting, we still get some value out of it, and it's an efficient way to buy dodge. I'm also going to roll a couple more times looking for more daggers. We didn't find any, but I'll take the melee damage from the hedgehog. So we're just gonna navigate around, killing as many of these small enemies as possible. We do need to kill these lampreys, and this is part of why I bought so much early melee damage, is making sure that something like this isn't too dangerous for us. I am gonna take a few hits here, because I want to get up to this tree and get the regeneration. I'm happy to build Curse. We're on the Abyss. I'm not gonna go wildly out of my way to get it. Alright, when we get a 5% crit chance upgrade, we will take it. And then here, 6 maximum HP is great. Then I'll buy all of these items. Good healing from Cute Monkey, especially on the loud. And then we'll roll, keep upgrading our Thief Daggers. Keep rolling. We'll take the dagger here, and we'll buy a Corrupted Shard. And I'll do another reroll. Lock, I think just all of these items. Lifesteal is pretty good for us, actually, because we're going to be wading into giant groups of enemies, and we'll be buying a lot of attack speed. So we want both regen and lifesteal. With the loud, your goal is just to use the immense amount of cash that you get from the increased enemies to just wildly outscale the amount of incoming damage. So you just want to buy as many raw stats as possible. The buffers this wave are a little scary because they can make some pretty dangerous enemies for us, but we're mostly focusing on killing the big groups of enemies here, since that's where most of our money is going to come from. And you know what? I'll keep taking dodge. We have 2 peaceful bees already available, so we're at 14% dodge. I would, of course, prefer armor early on, but if we get a lot of dodge on this character, then that's totally fine. I'm going to skip on injection for now. I really want to find more melee damage, especially because I've been buying all these peaceful bees. But I will take a gentle alien because it's so good for this character, and the stats are really good as well. So I might need to spend, well, I probably need to spend my level 10 upgrade on armor, because we currently have none. So we'll be rolling for that as soon as we hit level 10 here. Which I might this wave, or it might be next wave. Taking a bunch of damage there, but I should have enough regeneration and health to sustain through it, even with low armor. Trying to navigate around these groups of enemies, but you can see our income is ridiculous for wave 6. I'll take 15 luck here, and then, yeah, I am going to roll for armor, because, again, we currently have none, and we'll take 3 armor here. I will buy all of these items. Lighthouse, I don't think there's any reason for us to pick up a bunch of engineering at this point. I might buy it later if it had shown up later in the run, but for now, we really need to find more base melee damage, more attack speed, just basic stats to help us be as strong as possible. I will take a fish hook, and we'll take a propeller hat. I'm kind of hoping for, or consumable healing is one of the stats I was looking for the most, because as the loud, this is one of the best ways to heal. So weird food will help us sustain much more easily. And we'll lock another hedgehog because we desperately need melee damage. The cursed enemies are not like a huge bonus for us on this character, but especially now that we have a fish hook, we should be able to get some cursed items. And once you start getting some cursed items, they're gonna help your build really start coming together. This wave is pretty dangerous for us, especially on Nightmare because of the Walrus and the Goblin Shark. putting a lot of pressure on my movement, which is making it hard for me to get as many enemy kills as I would like, but I can make my way through the center here since we had that tree to pick up some consumable healing. And we didn't make a ton of money. I left a bunch on the ground, but we survived that wave, which is, of course, the most important thing. Here, I'll take the damage upgrade because I need my weapons to kill stuff. Fishhook actually working for once. That's pretty nice. 3 melee the hedgehog is kind of the worst thing to curse, but that's fine. Let's roll here. Coffee is excellent, and medical turret. I think I will lock the medical turret. We have fishhook, so we're incentivized to just lock stuff. And medical turret, while it's not the best form of healing for us, if it gets cursed, it'll be pretty powerful. I probably won't buy it if it doesn't get cursed, though. Even the 3 melee damage from the hedgehog has made such a huge difference to our clear speed, because this weapon critically hits on most attacks. I need to be a little careful killing the blobfish. I also need to pick up a bunch of materials because we left some on the ground last wave. Yeah, with the cursed goblin shark here, I need to actually back off from some of these enemies, and I want to maintain my health pool so I can more easily run at this loot alien and try to kill it before the end of the wave. Need some crits to get it, and we got a little unlucky on our crits there. So we didn't manage to kill it, but we still made 400 materials, which is obviously great. We'll recycle the Catling gun. It's just not something that we need on this character. We'll definitely take a mushroom, and I'll definitely take 9 more max health. Going up to more than 30 is pretty important. The attack speed from the coffee is excellent. I'll definitely take a blood leech as well. We don't care about losing harvesting on this character because we make so much money, and all of those regeneration stats are valuable for us. I think I will spend 34 on the jelly here. It's an inefficient way to buy max HP, but my maximum health is very low, so obviously I want to increase that. We'll pass on blood donation. You don't need it for this character, and taking damage over time is pretty dangerous. But bag and propeller hat are great options. We'll lock the coffee here, reroll, and lock a couple more items. If any of these get cursed, it's awesome, but even if they don't, these are 3 of the best items we could find. Also, if you were wondering about our bans in this run, I banned level 1 items in part to make consumable healing items like that weird food show up more frequently. So the fact that that has happened is, you know, all according to plan. Level 1 items are really good for the loud, and banning level 1 items is the most likely to have impact on what you actually find anyways. So for most characters, it's a good default. For this character, it's especially strong because things like Gentle Alien, things like Consumable Healing are all present at level 1, and really powerful options. The Cursed Hatcher, we just don't have the single target damage to kill it right now. That is the thing that we're missing the most, is just raw damage output in terms of our melee damage and everything. So I was avoiding going after the Cursed Hatcher, and we just dodged it. I'll take the additional HP. I definitely want to fix my movement speed, so I'll take that. I can take the 9 dodge here. We are building dodge, and then 6 melee damage is an incredible gift. That's exactly what we're looking for. Keep upgrading all of our weapons and everything. Sadly, we didn't get anything cursed. I'm going to skip on Piggy Bank because I don't want to save money. This character will make way more money by getting stronger. And on Nightmare mode, I think it's usually better to avoid items like that trade short-term power for longer-term benefits. You typically want to just keep your short-term power as high as possible. Shackles is great for us. We really want the 8 engineering. I don't care about capping my movement speed at 4, though I wouldn't mind like a little more, but I think it's totally fine. I'll, of course, take the Cursed Cauldron. I'll take Alien Tongue to go with it, and I guess I'll just buy the Shackles. I could try to get them cursed, but we only have the 1 fish hook. I'm also going to skip on Dock Moth. It doesn't do that much for me. Lock the Thief Dagger. I was hoping to be able to lock a couple more items in this shop, but for the fishhook, of course. But just making sure that we are continuing to increase our raw stats is the most important thing. Alright. I do have to run here. The slasher was putting a lot of damage on me, and our medical turret was not enough healing to keep up with it. So we're gonna back off from this guy, because the hatchers are making too much hazard for us in the middle here. But now I have enough healing when I run into that huge group of enemies because of our high consumable healing and lifesteal that I can just charge into the middle of them and survive. And we made 1,000 materials that wave. We'll take the bone dice here, and then I do need more armor, but maybe I'm supposed to just take 9 dodge. When you're building dodge, once you get it to around 30%, it becomes really efficient to buy dodge. So I think I'll just take that. And then I could take 2 lifesteal. I feel like we can do better here. Roll again, and I'll just take 12% damage. I'm basically just looking for at least a purple upgrade because we have 60 luck. A second bone dice. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. I'm gonna buy the mirror on spec. We're really rich, so there's plenty of stuff that we could double with mirror that would be awesome. Do I want to double silver bullet or alien magic? As much as I love silver bullet, and we do have an elite coming up, I think right now we want to double alien magic. It does cost me a bunch of luck, which hurts my consumable healing, but gets our regen up to 18, which is a much more respectable amount, and 67 health gives me a lot more leeway to take damage. Do I want celery tea here? Doubling enemy health in this next wave is really dangerous, but it does give me a lot of extra regen. We're going into wave 11, so it's not the elite wave. I'm obviously taking the insanity because more crit chance is great on thief daggers. I think we can get away with the celery tea. This is a little dangerous, but I believe we can make it work. And then I'll buy these items. I'll lock wisdom because cursed wisdom would be really good. If it doesn't get cursed, I probably won't buy it because I want to kill elites quickly. Definitely lock a mirror here. And I'm going to lock the beanie. I want to get my move speed at least back up to the 4. I don't mind if it goes higher than 4 as well, because then we can buy other items that decrease my movement speed without actually losing any. Alright, so you can see the celery tea is definitely putting a lot of pressure on us this wave. But wave 11's not one of the most dangerous ones for this character, so I think we should be fine. And I have to run from the cursed goblin sharks, though. I also would love to kill this loot alien, kind of in the middle here. Gonna make my way around the outside of the map to kill that tree, and then we'll take a bunch of damage in the center here to try to kill the loot alien, but since we didn't get it with that pass, unfortunately I think we're gonna have to give up. The celery tea ended up costing me the loot alien kill, but we got, we'll get a lot of levels off it. Here I'll just take 3 lifesteal. That'll let me more easily run into those groups of enemies. And then I'm gonna take 10 luck. Range is basically irrelevant to this character. The wisdom did get cursed, which is awesome. And here we also get to do a really fun trick with the cursed mirror. So the cursed mirror duplicates the next item you get from the shop. But because it can't give you 2 of a unique item, and the cursed mirror gives you a discount when you buy an item, right? Minus 18% item price. Because it can't duplicate weapons or unique items, you get the discount if you buy that type of item. So when we buy wisdom here, we get to buy it for cheaper, but not spend our cursed mirror. Same with the black flag. I'm not going to duplicate the beanie here. It didn't get cursed or anything, so let's just re-roll and see if there's something we do want to duplicate. Black belt isn't a terrible duplication. The XP gain is fine. Losing luck remains bad, but we do need melee damage. I think we can do a little better than that, though. Let's keep upgrading our Thief Dagger, and then I'll roll again. I'll lock the extra stomach, and I'll roll again here. And I'll re-roll one more time. Alright, I think we probably are going to duplicate the Whetstone, because I'm a little worried about this elite fight. So, although we are losing our discount on the extra stomach and everything like that, just getting a bunch of lifesteal is going to make this next fight a lot safer. Also, I am going to re-roll for 30 here. Oh, maybe we get another curse mirror. Just keep getting mirrors. Okay, I'm going to run at the enemy and try to DPS the elite down here. Though I need to wait for our first wisdom to tick a little bit. Oh, okay, and we got our first new enemy in Nightmare mode. We may not be able to kill the elite because these, like the bony hatters making these slashers is really scary. So I think we're going to have to just run from the elite this wave. I don't quite have the defensive stats to easily kill it, I think. And we're under a lot of pressure from these upgraded hatter enemies. I love the graphics on these guys, by the way. Once again, the graphics team has just been killing it with these updates. But I'm glad I bought the Whetstone there. Here, I'll take 10% attack speed. Our attack speed is really poor. We do get a Curse Mirror. That's awesome. So we can buy this, have a cheaper extra stomach. And then I think I will just duplicate the injection. I'm going to pass on another Celery Tea. We're starting to fall a little bit behind in terms of damage, so I need to fix that. We'll take Thief Dagger. I'll take the Eye Patch. It's a very inefficient way to buy crit chance, but our crit chance is kind of low, so I need to fix that. We have negative knockback, so Coil is not worth buying here. We'll definitely take a Tentacle, and a Duct Tape finally gets a little more armor. First Thief Dagger, great. Treasure Map we will lock as well, and then we'll re-roll here. Do I want Cursed Eye Surgery just for the curse? I could. +4 curse is a lot. I think I will pass on that. I think, again, I need to focus on immediate stat upgrades, especially because we're going into another elite wave. Alright, I haven't seen any upgraded enemies this wave. I thought they started on wave 14, but it looks like they start on wave 12. The Tentacle, of course, is a great find as well, giving me a lot more healing. Any critical hit build that's running into the middle of enemies and taking damage is gonna benefit a lot from that. One of the items I would really love is Jerky. We have a lot of consumable healing, so that would help make sure that our health is high all the time. And that we're not over-healing. Try to keep my health full for the end of the wave so that we can get value out of the extra stomach when we pull in these materials, and we did. We'll take Leather Vest here. That's great. That's exactly the stats we need. Cyclops Worm is perfect as well. And then 3 more armor again is awesome. Going up to 11 armor makes me so much safer here. Buy the treasure map, and then I will roll. Keep upgrading my daggers, and we can get the level 4 Curse Dagger as well. Yeah, I'll lose 2 armor, but Lucky Coin is awesome here. The amount of additional consumable healing that we'll get from increasing our luck should more than make up for the lost armor. And we'll take the Spicy Sauce because my max HP is still pretty low. Boxing Glove I'm going to buy. It's an inefficient way to buy melee damage, but every little bit counts. Garden I'm going to lock because a Cursed Garden would be really good. And then we'll roll again. We'll lock a Fish Hook and a Fresh Meat. And I will re-roll 1 slot for 29, because we have fish hooks, so we're incentivized to re-roll a bunch. Alright, we'll see if we can kill this elite. It will depend on the enemy spawns and everything. I'm just gonna let that gobbler run around and eat materials. If it eats a bunch of materials, then we can kill it later on, and it'll multiply the value of those materials, and I wanted to focus down the elite as quickly as possible. So we did that. Haven't seen any new enemies since wave 12 so far. A lot of damage that we're taking from all of these cursed enemies as well. And of course, the new upgraded enemies can be buffed by the buffers. They can be cursed, so those can be extremely dangerous. We don't have any way to set things on fire. I banned Scared Sausage. Greek Fire I just don't think is super relevant. So I could take 63 materials. I could also take it just to remove it from the item pool, but I think we'll just take the money here. 4% crit chance, sure. We'll take that. We'll take 2 lifesteal, and we'll take 2 armor. And then we'll buy all these things. We'll buy Pocket Factory again, so you know I haven't been kidnapped. I'm skipping all the cyber balls and baby elephants and stuff, because I want to just kill things with my daggers here. We'll keep upgrading those, although, yeah, we can't, well, I could choose not to buy it in order to try to lock it to curse it with our 2 fish hooks, but just upgrading my weapons is the most important thing, and then we'll lock these 2 items. Either of those cursed would be awesome. Alright, I expect that there will be more new enemies this wave, though I haven't seen them yet. Okay, yeah, so more of the upgraded, I'm just going to call them scaled for now, hatchers. Oh, and the upgraded blobfish. Those guys look super cool also. I don't actually know what the difference for them is. The hatchers are just more damage. The blobfish, I don't know if they, like, spawn more stuff. The big hatchers and flashers are just, more health, more damage, as far as I know. Also, those cursed slashers are fully not dying. I'm putting so much DPS into them, and look at how much they're surviving. Okay, so I actually came very close to dying at the end of that wave. I'll take 20 more luck. I think that's fine. I'll take 10% crit chance, and yeah, we're just going to buy out this whole shop. A metal plate matters a lot. I think we can get away with the bait here. And we'll lock a hedgehog, and we'll roll, and roll again. Lock Gentle Alien. Barnacle, even this late, I think will be valuable. We have a lot of bonus XP gain, plus 45%. So we'll get a bunch of... So, in Nightmare mode, did they make it so that bait just make more lampreys? Because that looked like a lot of lampreys, even for the loud, with the extra enemy spawns. That wasn't a cursed bait. Cursed bait spawn extra lampreys, but... Okay, it looks like there are upgraded buffing aliens in this map, which is also really scary, and upgraded walruses. I love the tusked walruses. We're gonna get, like, extra powerful cursed walruses. Just much more horny than the normal walruses. Take the spicy sauce. Tardigrade, I guess I'll just take it, because it's only 36 materials. It's obviously not going to come up that much for this character. Let's reroll. I'm looking for more dodge. Dodge is currently our most valuable defensive stat. A Cursed Gentle Alien, great. We'll take a Barnacle as well. We'll reroll here. I'll buy another Gentle Alien. I don't really want to cap my max HP. I do want more melee damage, though. And maybe 92 is fine. It, of course, turns off our extra stomach, but I don't know how much value we're getting from that anyways. And yeah, I think I do need to just cap my stat, because I'll buy the goldfish just for fun as well. Because we are really struggling to kill stuff, so I just need a bunch more melee damage. And then Mammoth and Cape, these are phenomenal finds, so if we make it out of the next wave, these two should really fix a lot of the issues that we're having. The new nightmare enemies are definitely... Oh, I love that guy. Look at his hat. Okay, so that's an upgraded mini-boss enemy. Those are pretty terrifying. And the upgraded stargazers are so fast. Oh, okay, so those guys are really scary as well. Though they no longer have as powerful drool as the original one. They've replaced their drool with a pointy helmet. The upgraded mini-boss also looks like he spent too long in the dryer. I'm going to take some extra dodge here. We'll take the piggy bank just to remove it from the pool for 31 materials. And then I think 9 crit chance is still going to be better. Just taking level 4 upgrades. Ooh, a drill. Okay. So this is, of course, a precise weapon, so it's going to keep our tags. We won't get extra money from it, but obviously I'm going to buy the legendary weapon. It scales with our engineering and gives us extra money when we get a critical hit, just like Thief Daggers. So it's basically a super upgraded Thief Dagger. It also scales our attack speed. Now, the question is, do I want to try to lock it? We do have a 30% pity bonus. So I think I might just get extremely greedy. I actually think the Mammoth and the Cape will help more than the Drill for fighting this elite anyways. And it would be so fun to get a Cursed Drill. So what we're going to do is lock the Drill. I guess I'll use my free reroll and I'll buy the Mastery as well. I'm not going to lock the Mushroom here because I do really want to curse this Drill. So we're going to try to force our pity bonus to go on the item that we want to curse. Usually you shouldn't do that. You should just lock as many things as possible, even with a pity bonus. But because it's going to be so much fun to have a cursed drill, we're going to take the slightly less optimal route and focus on getting the coolest item possible. All right, so we've got upgraded pufferfish this wave. Now, fortunately, we're a melee build, and it looks like they still don't explode when you kill them with a melee weapon. So the pufferfish aren't incredibly dangerous. I really need more attack speed. That's the stat that is giving me the most trouble. But I can run into the middle of these groups of enemies here and get a lot of extra kills, as long as I stay away from these cursed mini-bosses. And we have enough healing and dodge that we're able to survive most of these waves. Sift's Relic is great, both because we're sometimes leaving materials on the ground, but even more so because armor is just really important right now. And then currently I have, 94% chance to crit with my level 3s, 104 with my level 4s. So I don't need the crit chance here. I'm just going to reroll and we'll take 5 armor. That'll let me more easily survive. We'll combine and buy our drill, which sadly did not get cursed, but I do want it for wave 19 here. And we'll re-roll again and just lock a couple more items going into wave 20. Fishhook letting me down yet again. But this run is tight enough that I think just not spending 700 materials in the last wave, or in the last shop, there would have made it pretty dangerous, especially because this is a darkness wave, so we're going to be taking a lot of attacks, and wave 19 is really dangerous in general. I can't see what the upgraded enemies are this wave. Looks like there's upgraded goblin sharks, upgraded walruses, but because it's a darkness wave, we're having a little trouble seeing what's showing up. I love the art for the new enemies, though. It's so cool. Also, 2,000 materials that wave alone. I guess I'll take this. It's -2 melee damage, but +2 regen, which is actually an okay trade. I'll just recycle this, and this, and this, and I'm gonna re-roll here, trying to get purple upgrades. We have high enough dodge, though. Do I just take 4 regen? I'm starting to spend a lot re-rolling, so I'll just take the regeneration. Wow, we're really getting unlucky on our level ups there. Oh yeah, why did I lock treasure map? That was ridiculous. Going into the boss wave, just thinking about other stuff mostly. Don't need to buy the cake, we're HP capped. We'll upgrade our thief dagger, and I'm gonna pass on rip and tear and clover. We'll keep upgrading our daggers. Tree is actually a pretty good find for the boss wave. It's just more consumable healing, but the mammoth is a phenomenal find. I do need to fix my movement speed, potentially. We should be okay, but if I do get movement speed, it'll be pretty good. I'll definitely take Gentle Alien. Extra enemy spawns on the boss wave are actually really good for us. We have 33% lifesteal and a lot of consumable healing, so the more enemies there are, the easier this wave is going to be. And then we'll roll here, and nothing else worth taking this wave. We'll roll again, and blindfold is actually useless to us, right? We have more than 100% crit chance on all our weapons, and we're over dodge cap. That's kind of funny. I'll keep re-rolling just for fun, and looks like we would buy the tree, but nothing else here. So let's see if we can make it past wave 20. With our drill doing percentage damage, and we have 2 silver bullets as well, we should have no problem killing the bosses quickly here. And that's the first one down. And there we go. All right, so we got to see a bunch of the cool new enemies. I really liked that. I think, like I said in my previous video with the new Nightmare mode, I think that it is a much better direction for Nightmare mode to go with upgraded enemies and have the projectiles be spawned by events and the darkness be spawned by events. I think that's just a cooler direction for the mode. And I also really love the graphics for the new enemies. I think that this is harder than the old Nightmare mode as well, just in general, because there are lots of builds that will just not have the stats to deal with the increased difficulty of enemies. And the projectiles, once you got used to them, didn't really increase the game difficulty that much, but the new, more dangerous enemies will. Let's look in the codex as well. I want to take a look at the new guys. So we have that's from Crash Zone. That's the buffer enemy from Crash Zone. But we have the Infected Slasher and the Mad Slasher, or Infected Slasher Egg, which spawns a Mad Slasher. Super dangerous. And then we also have the Fireman Anemone. That's, I don't know why it's a fireman, but it is a very cool looking model, and an upgraded anemone is a really nice thing to fight. I think that these typically are not the most dangerous enemies, so having more dangerous versions of them spawn is really cool. Infected blobfish, love the way this guy looks. And then it spawns, so it is just increased stats on this one, I think. Shielded Diplocaulus. I actually never knew what those were called. But the shielded version of this enemy, just having more health, it looks like, is obviously really dangerous. This can overwhelm you with the number of infected eggs that it's going to drop, and that can, of course, if you don't have enough damage, make a lot of waves really hard. The Mad Dragonfish. I really like the way this guy looks, just like sort of weird and melted. Again, just increased stats, but super dangerous because these guys were already really scary. Scaled Goblin Shark. Again, these guys coming out of nowhere and impaling you is going to be, I think, probably the most common death for players now. And we got the Bloated Pufferfish. It looks like, yeah, 8 and Oh, okay, so it has 2 explosions when it dies by being killed with non-melee damage. So the second wave of explosions for ranged characters is going to be really dangerous as well. This guy goes faster and has more health, and then the brainy squid fires additional projectiles. Cool Walrus. That's me, Cool Walrus. Just charges a lot and has a lot of health. And walruses, again, walruses and goblin sharks are 2 of the most common ways to die, so having those guys be buffed is, of course, again, extremely scary. Alright, my friends, hope you enjoyed this look at the new enemies and the new version of Nightmare Mode, and it had fun making a ton of money with the Loud. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.